welcome to my channel. I made some 15 videos on everything you need to know about manufacturing the parts to convert a standard milling machine into a CNC machine. All the plans are available on my Patron pages. So in the last video I showed you in Cavco how to draw up the part, or draw up what was necessary to create the G codes to put into Mach3 to make this CNC machine make the part for us. So this is our rough material, our blank. It's 2 inches by 2 inches by 1 inch, or 50 by 50 by 25 millimeters, thereabouts. So I'm going to put a rather sharp tool in here, and I'm going to show you how to set the CNC miller and register the start of the program. Now, if you have seen the video before this, you will remember in the very beginning of setting up the Cavco program for this part, we made the orientation of this part in this top left hand corner, because it's going to be lying down that way in the vise, and that's fairly normal to have top left hand corner or back left hand corner for a CNC milling machine. And I'm going to show you how to set the 0, position to start the job. Okay, so I've got my piece of material set up in my vise here now, and I've put a very pointy tool in the chuck. You might be able to pick that up. So the next thing I have to do now is put the first G-code program into Mach3. Now I'll zoom you into full screen of Mach3 and you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so these are the DROs, or digital readouts, and this tells you where the X, Y and Z are in millimeters from the 0 position, or the old 0 position as it happens in this case. So what I'm going to do is come up here now to this very top corner where it says File, Load G-code, and I have to choose my flash drive, and this is the first one here. It's a 28.1 millimeter pocket. We're going to cut with a 10 millimeter end mill, double click, and it's into Mach3. So now we have to set or tell Mach3 where the 0 position is for the XY axis. Then I change the tool and then set the Z. So we're going to set the XY 0 position of our work. To move each individual axis, there's a number of ways you can do this. Now you can just use the keyboard. That's 4, 6, 8, 2. So using the arrows here on the keypad, and for up and down it's just simply up and down. So that's the movement taken care of, so on the keypad. So that's how you can understand what I'm actually doing over here. So now we're going to turn to our piece of work. Incidentally, moving the axes like so is called jogging. So if you ever hear the term to jog the machine, that's what it means, to move an axis. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move the axes, or the material, to coincide with the point of this, and I want to line up the point of this with the very corner tip of that. I'm just going to slow this down very, very slightly. Now, to slow the axis speed or the jog rate down, you just press Tab on the keyboard and this pulls up this pendant. Now, what you're looking for is this here, okay? This is to alter the jog speed. So you just come here and we want to go, this is in percentage of jog speed. 5% will be just about fine. So press Tab and it goes away. So I am pretty well perfect there on the back. Just want to turn this way a little bit. And this is one of the reasons I use this tool, because it's exactly half cut away. It's a very, very pointy tool. That's telling me right in that corner. So now I can set the XY coordinate. Now to set the X and Y coordinate to that 0 position, very simply you go here, press the X, press the Y, and you get your 0, 0 point, the start of the program. Now, just another little tip, when you get that, press Regen, and that reconfigures the program to that new 0, 0 point. So now what I'm going to do is change that tool, put the 10mm end mill in there, and then we will find the 0 point for the Z axis. Okay, so I'm just going to move the material over a little bit. I'm going to come down. Now I'm going to use a simple little trick to find the height of that tool then, or the 0 position. What I mean is the tool is just touching the top of this just by using a piece of paper. So you put your piece of paper underneath the tool like so, and be very careful to mind your fingers, but just bring it down quietly. Start to just grab it there. That's it. It's just grabbed it. So I know that pretty well that is touching the top of that material within 1/1000th of an inch. Yeah, and that's fine. So we'll set the 0 position now. I would just simply come here to Z and 0 and lift the tool back up. And then again, we're going to press Regen. Okay, so before we set this going, what I do as a matter of course, I come to the feed rate, which is just here. Can you pick that? Yes, you can. And I reduce the feed rate, even though I set it at quite a slow speed. I'll set it at 20%. Now it's going to move fairly slowly and come in and start machining. Then when I see everything going correctly, I will raise this feed rate back up to 100%. A lot of the operation of a CNC machine is watching, seeing how it cuts, and actually listening to how it cuts as well. Okay, so let's start the machine going. Okay, so my particular CNC machine, the drive motor is not connected to Mach3. It's not controlled by Mach3. So I have to start that up manually, separately. And also I should be running flood coolant, so I'm going to be shutting all these doors. So we'll start the spindle up first. as you can see, it's spraying all over the place. So now what we do is come here, bring the cursor here to cycle start and press cycle start, but I'm always going to be around this area here, because if I see something going wrong, I'm going to want to stop it pretty quick. I'll just bring you in for a close look at that. Look at the quality of that bore. It is absolutely smooth without a blemish. Okay, so I've changed the tool, repositioned the material in the vise, tightened it all up, and found the new 0 as we did before. Same trick with a bit of paper. So now what I'm going to do is change the G-code file. So I'll zoom you into Mach3 and show you what I'm doing. Okay, so we come here and close G-code, which erases the code out of Mach3. Now we're going to open the file, load G-code, and this is our second cut. It's in. We know all the zeros are correct. So now we press regen. Now we're ready to go. I'm already set at 30%. I'm going to take that down to 20% actually. Okay. Like I say, every program I run on Mach3, I start off quietly, then ramp it up. So what we need to do is just run the coolants on the tip, because we're cutting. We're not going down into a pocket. where I have to run the coolant all the way up here and let the tool carry it in. We need to flush the material off the end of the cutter, keep it nice and cool. Let's turn it off a minute, otherwise I'm going to get splashed. So, here we go. And that is how you make a beautiful part on a CNC milling machine. It's perfect. The only thing I've got to do now is drill 4 holes in here and 2 big holes in here, but I can't do those yet until I line it up in the Z axes and have a look how everything's going to fit, because the tolerances are quite you know, very small tolerances. So that'll be for the next video, where we continue making this CNC router. So I hope you've enjoyed the video today. If you have any questions or you want to see anything in particular, just write me a note. You can either send me an email or you can write it in the comments below. And underneath this video you will find a discount code there for Carveco. Any of the Carveco products, it's a fairly hefty discount, whether you pay monthly or yearly or buy it outright, and it even applies to the professional program. You can save a hell of a lot of money on that. So please like and subscribe, and if you like what I'm doing, you could consider becoming a patron. Patron information is also underneath this video in the video description area. So thank you for joining me. I hope you pop in and see the continuing development of this CNC router. I'll swing you around so you have a look. So this is what we're talking about, okay? Any of you can build this if you have any wood experience. If you have any wood experience, you can make this. If you can use a ruler, if you can, use an angle grinder and a drill, you can make one of these yourself. All the information are in my videos of how to do it. The plans will be available on my Patreon pages when I finish building it. And of course there is plans for, let me see, the CNC mill that I was just using. There's also plans for a smaller CNC router than this. There's also plans for a bigger one, you know, pretty well a full-size one. And also, if you're, you know, a new starter and you want to start off really small and you've got a small budget of a few $100s, there's always a 3018 you can go for. And I have also on my Patron pages upgrades of drawings and also files for 3D printing, extra modules for the 3018 little CNC router, which is not a bad little start actually. So, you know, I guess you're used to sort of using, I suppose, the programs, but you know, if you're a woodworker and you're really interested, and you're really interested in moving into CNCs, well, you know, you can put a door in this one and carve, you know, in sections. You can slide a whole door in here and carve the top section and then carve the bottom section if you want to do that. It's roughly, you know, 1 meter by a meter, which is 3 feet by 3 feet, working envelope, which I have found to be, you know, pretty well for, you know, a workshop like mine is pretty well the right size. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Pop in and have a look at the continuing story with the AMAX CNC router. So, bye for now.